Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 39th annual BullShooter finale in Chicago, Illinois. Sean Green, joined by good stuff himself, Mr. Gordon Dixon. Gordon, we have the Monsters of the Midway, the first time streaming this event on the Thursday night.
Yeah, I was excited. I don't normally get to watch this one. I'm either traveling or I know I've got a weekend of darts ahead of me, so I try to take it easy a little bit on the Thursday night events. So excited to see this one play out, see formats for everybody. We've got 4 brackets for you this evening, and a lot of good darts to come.
I'm telling you right now, that wind-up there is going to be something we're going to talk about more often than not from DJ there. Here's Jennifer Pickett. Stepping up to the line. You'll notice that there's no sound on the board, Gordon.
Yeah, it sticks out like a sore thumb, really.
Yeah, it's actually almost just so deafening that it stands out more than anything else.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get somebody new on it tomorrow.
Yeah,
that actually knows how to set it up.
Maybe someone with normal colored hair.
Yep.
Yeah. We made a mistake with that part. Karen's gonna step up. 65 left. The format here is going to be 501 open and master out in this AAA team event. So there's 4 players on each team. They play a stack score line freeze rule. So 2 players on each team with the freeze kind of taking place as well, that we'll talk about if and when it shows up, because you know it will eventually. It's much better to for the people at home to understand it if it's just live in front of them, because I suck at explaining it. You can probably do it real quickly though, Gordon.
Yeah, well, this it's even an additional wrinkle when it's a 4-man team. So, when they're parsed out like this, basically, you've got 8 separate scores, and 4 of those scores are connected. So 2 on the one team, 2 on the other team. If the combined total of one of the teams is actually higher than lower than a single score of your partner, you cannot take the game out. I don't know how well I did that.
That was good enough,
especially in 4-man like this. We'll get to see it rear its ugly head at some point.
Double 8 shot, now double 4, and Gordon, you call this out better than anyone else. That usually nobody misses that, but
nobody misses double 4.
All right, so let's call this right here. Mary Brand is going to be frozen. It's because the combined score of their opponents is 129 points. Jennifer Pickett is at 185. So since the scoreline of the opponents is below the scoreline of the partner, Mary is frozen, and it will not tell her that, thankfully.
Yeah, no, there is an opportunity for mistakes. You do automatically lose. That is not a bust or anything along those lines. It is a loss, which we have seen in the Chicago finals.
Unfortunately, I've seen it by my partner in an event. That wind-up, I'm telling you something. That is, the follow-through is great. I just don't know how you stay consistent with that type of a wind-up there.
Well, honestly, one of the things that always shocks me is, like, how did that become comfortable?
I don't know.
The first time.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, hey, I'm going to go out and throw some darts, and then you like have an interpretive dance of a trip 20 before you throw the first one, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with this.
It seems like something that definitely she fell into. I don't think that was Jennifer Pickett's got 5 seconds and headphones on, so she better hurry. Does get it off in time, but almost just barely. And she's not going to do enough to unfreeze, just in case Madeline or Madeline's partner misses. Double 2, not the easiest.
Oh, Madhouse.
And hits the Madhouse after the, shoot. And then she hits it.
Yeah, there was definitely an aw shucks in there, and then she just shucks it right into the double.
It's a shucks that starts with an F. But leg number 1 goes to Too Hot to Handle. Race to 2 here on the loser side of the bracket for the women's, and that's also for the pro and men's side. On the loser side, race to 2. It looks like... Oh, you're good. All right. What? Who are you pointing out at me? All right. He distracted me.
Ooh, does find a bull with the last. Madeline stepping up here.
I like her throw. Straight from her chin, straight to the board.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see much of the scoring phase first time around. Get to see all these players bringing the score down this time. Something bothering Jennifer here. We saw her run it down to basically 0. I think the dart didn't hit the board until 2 or 3.
She is a very deliberate player. And it worked out there on dart 3. I do love the bench seating for the team event because you can just sit down on that bench in the front row.
Yeah, if you're ever playing with me, don't you dare sit down in the middle of a match.
Yeah, that's not it. You're being kicked off Captain Gordon's team.
Yeah.
Like, well, this is never again. You better stand up right now. We need to find a replacement for you immediately. We will.
Yeah, right.
You standing up there. Do you want to come play? Madison, a big hat trick. And we're going to see that often, right? Not my turn yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a reason that the names are on the board. We'll probably see some people throw out of turn at some point.
Yep. What do they do about that?
The later the evening goes.
Back it up?
Well, it depends on if it gets caught.
Right.
And who's a stickler for the rules.
Yeah, you always wonder in those types of situations, right? Because for me, first of all, I'm never going to be playing in the pit. But secondly, if I were, I would never call out a team for that. I'd be like, all right, let's just back it up. Like, you're fine. You're probably going to shoot worse than what they just did anyway, which is why I noticed that you're out of turn. So let's back it on up here.
Oh.
Great low ton from Bree.
Yeah, good miss, too.
Look at those averages. 28, 38, 23, 24.
Solid from the ladies here.
Mary's just right on the wires for the first 2. Madeline hit a low ton last time up. Finds another one there.
Yeah, great group.
You can see why she goes first for her team.
Yeah, you want Madeline to the board as many times as you can.
See, Jen's, that's a lot of ghost throws. They're just trying to find it.
Yeah, some good fallouts, 84. Basically parity here between the 2 teams.
Yeah, 229, 229. But there's an opportunity here for this player 4 duo to really take control, and they do right there. Great low ton. Puts them 112 points up on the team, on the side that they're really kind of going up against here.
Yeah, Madison and Madeline going to probably want to take it out here in 6 darts. Ooh, and that's going to be a handful. 153. You can't start on the bull.
And you always wonder if they're going to pick up on that or not. And that goes for any level, any team at this point, because the master out versus open out depends on what you play back where you are. But first, they needed at least that.
Yeah, big shot there. Gets him right back into it. But damage is done. They really gave up the throw for the 3-4 player. Bree finds a bull. And a good fallout. Again, both at a finish there. Too hot to handle, looking to take this out in one shot. Finally, some board sounds.
Yeah, would you look at that? Good last start, but Madeline here, 145, can go.
And this can start on the bull. She can actually stay there. Oh, what a shot.
Oh, she got the hard one out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue with the first one going in. I don't know if I'd have suggested her shoot it that way. Just she has been finding that bullseye regularly.
And especially with the freeze aspect of it, too, you kind of want to get the known bigger scoring segments out of the way first. But, yeah, definitely not going to argue if it goes in.
Yeah, because if you do go bull miss, you just go right back to the bull. And the way she's been shooting, you got to assume she would have hit 2 of them. Even 104 DJ.
Which does not freeze Mary by 2 points. Or Madison by 2 points. So this can go. We'll take us to a last leg decider. Trip for double. You know how much you love double 15, Gordon.
Setting it up and taking it down.
Great little combo on the 15s from Madison. 1-1 score line from mixing it up and too hot to handle. We're going the distance. 39th BullShooter here in Chicago. How many years straight have you been here doing this? Maybe not even straight, but like how many years total?
I was gonna say you've got a COVID year in there, so it wouldn't be straight. But I think we've been doing this since 2018, 2019.
Was your 7th or 6th?
Yes.
One of these? It's my first, and so far, so good.
Yeah, new year, new setup to the room. Our keen watchers at home will notice you're seeing a different side of the hall here this year.
Madeline getting him started in this last lead decider, and that's perfection.
Madeline does not look bothered.
No. Stoic as can be.
Yeah, I love the demeanor at the line.
It's nice and smooth. It doesn't even look like she's trying.
Mary Bond not going to find a bull. See what she thinks of that by pulling of the darts. You're going to sidewind one into the bullseye.
Again, that windup is something else. But the follow through is almost kind of textbook, like towards the board. I just don't know how you can get the windup to the same position every time.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like even you're negating your good follow through by not assuring that you've got the arm in the same position each time, or it's tough to be. I'm sure it's one of those things like the day that she's on.
Oh yeah,
it goes in because the follow through is there, but
which was probably the first day.
Yeah,
you know,
and that probably just answered our own question. How did you find this throw? They're like, well, the first couple of days it was money bags,
and I've stayed with it ever since. At a certain point, it just becomes common knowledge. We're gonna have on the pro side the king seat match. Boss Hagen taking on Always Late to the P, which is going to be the party.
That's what it is, the party. See Bree stepping up here.
We're going to shorten that to always late, I think, from this point forward.
Have I mentioned how much I love
names.
Team names?
Especially on the bracket. It's my favorite thing ever. It's almost as favorite as having nicknames being able to be on the board too.
Yep.
Like DJ Smiles. We know her name's not DJ, but she obviously is one. And she smiles a lot, and we're gonna go with that.
Look at this. Perfect through 6. There was ever a doubt.
I think MVP stands for Madeline's the valuable player. Look at how far ahead that duo is. Mary just 72 scored, not what she was looking for, to say the least.
Yeah, DJ just needing to kind of fill in the blanks here. Keep them within. They're at least unfrozen for 6 darts, I would say at the most from 145. But we've seen saw Madeline take a shot at it last time. It's gonna be your partner's turn this time.
Yeah, you think the partner starts on the 15th too?
My guess is they're gonna have a powwow and she's gonna start on 15s as well, but we'll see.
I don't know. Karen looks like she's not having a powwow. She's just walking on up. Unfortunately, Gordon, I don't think we're ever going to know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I think that was a bull. I think he just got away from her. 79, job done.
Yep.
No real danger of getting frozen at this point. I have seen a hat trick from Madison, though.
I mean, again, the throw, absolutely gorgeous.
Bree's turn. Been pretty solid on those bullseyes. Usually at least 1, if not 2, as we see turn that time.
Yeah, that was teamwork 101 there, if I want to call it something. Now Sarah with the last name of Smith or Smythe, and I'm sure she gets that all the time. Only gets 39 scored. So here is Madeline. Yep, double 11. Oh, boy.
I like it.
Yep. Does enough there. You don't really, and master out, once you pass the bullseye out, it becomes more difficult for sure. But if you're going to hit that triple on the first dart, that's fine.
Yeah, that's actually one of the variations of soft tip that I'm sure somebody knows the best routes that include triples and stuff like that. I played it so few and far between that really just played it as it was doubles. And if I knew something had a triple, if I was on 42,
right,
take a whack at it.
So let me ask you this, Gordon. If you had 39 left and master out and you had 3 darts in your hand, where's that first dart going?
39?
Yep.
Still going 7.
You're going to go 7 for 32 instead of just trip 13?
Still going 7. Yeah, just because that you've got so many options out there. But, yeah, it's probably not smart just because the single would still leave you a double. I just, like I said, that's not what would automatically pop in my head.
So you take the 2 dart at it, which is, and it's always about comfortability there for sure. Oh, and still, we're seeing the struggle start to happen, and 4 is no given.
Yeah, luckily for Too Hot to Handle here, mixing it up is lingering behind. But as I'm saying that,
You did call it earlier. You said Madison hit one already.
Yeah.
That's number 2.
She missed the style points. She missed one of the double bulls. And Bree and DJ able to stick with them.
It makes it really hard on Sarah to freeze it all. Not going to be able to do it at all, actually. Impossible. With Madison on 86 and Bree on 76. So here is Madeline. Double 2. She's done everything else extremely right. Can she take this out?
Reset. I like that.
And hits it for the match. Never a good feeling when it's a bounce out that goes in, but or don't lie.
No, it counts in this game. Absolutely. Shake hands after that. Good match there. Yeah, Madeline definitely the MVP on the board. But excited to see where they all end up. We see Ram warming up here on the other board. We've got the men's king seat match.
Yeah, for the pro side. Boss Hagen versus Always Late. On the team of Boss Hagen is...
Nice setup.
It was a nice setup, wasn't it?
It was.
Mike Porterfield, Benny Dersch, Ram Guevara, and Don Stewart. So almost full
I heard of
mouths
like
of teeth.
Three of those guys.
And then the team they're taking on, Always Late, is Mike Segal, Kevin Luke, Jermaine Kirkendall, who called me Bull Stewart earlier, and Sydney Vaughn.
Jermaine from South Carolina needed 6 bulls to win the Pro-Am. I think is the last time I saw him. I think he's played events since then, but it sticks out in my mind.
He's from Ohio, correct?
Yeah.
Jermaine? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting turn of events, but we are going to take a short break here, Gordon, while we wait for the king seat match to get going. Hit that like button, hit that share button, let everybody know that we are live, and we'll be back with more action from Chicago right after this. Well, it looks like they're finally all warmed up, and we are ready for this King Seat match. Sean Green joined by Gordon Dixon back here at the 39th Annual BullShooter Finale in Chicago. And the Monsters of the Midway are about to get going here, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to be surprised if any of them miss.
Well, they're
all that warm-up, they got to be ready to go.
I mean, they're playing steel tip darts pretty much here. And they're steel tip format here in the soft tip dart game. So it's open in, double out, split bowl, 501. Now they're playing 4 players on each team. This is Kevin Luke getting started. He won the diddle and off and rolling. And FKL with a 180 to get us started.
Yeah, perfect start. Like I said, definitely after all that warm up should be good to go.
Yeah, so far they're all perfect. You were right.
Back to back. There he is.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why they warmed up so much. And now you know. And Maynard, amen. I swear, if they all throw. Oh, Sid.
Still haven't.
Could you imagine what it would have been like if it did, huh?
Still don't have a dart in the single.
That's true. They are still all triples. Until this moment. Oh. Mike Porterfield. Blows it on the last dart. Well, we still haven't had a 0. Here is Jermaine Kirkendall. Main event's a pretty good nickname. That's a good one.
No, for sure. Good play on the name. Good. Yeah, good representation. I like it. The Ghost, I don't know anybody that's ever called him that.
Well, it looks like his teeth have disappeared at least.
Somebody already pointed it out, but half the people in this are from Philly. Or sorry, Pittsburgh.
Yep, the Yinzas.
Look at it one word and saying another.
Well, here's Benny the Jet. We'll take it 140.
Yeah. Great shot. Coming off some health woes, but looks to be back to finding the treble with regularity. The game's always better with the Jet playing well.
Yes, it is. It's good to see him getting back into it at a more like full-time basis. This is Ram Guevara. And Ram has not missed a dart yet. Back-to-back 180s from Ram.
Throws the hands up. Now, big shot needed here. Trying to keep Kevin Luke alive. That's probably going to do it.
Cassie in there saying, looks like I'll be up all night watching darts. Well, you're welcome. And these players are going to put on a show, that's for sure.
180 will freeze.
Don't put it past him. And he does hit the 180. Good call there, Gordo.
Wow. No shot at the 157.
Got to think about this from a double out perspective and split bowl perspective.
Could probably go. I would have liked 36 more than 38, but head was in the right spot.
I also especially like it because then you can go trip 12 instead of the double 18, so it's less of a chance of missing outside. Don.
Oh, just low. Shook his head on the way to the board.
Yeah. It's like it started too low for him in the air, and he just knew.
The problem with 21 and 20 is they won't be able to freeze again. But usually the way this, or I'm sorry, they won't be able to unfreeze.
Mm-hmm.
But usually the way these legs go, if Philly was going to win this, it would have to be from taking out one of those big shots. I think Benny's going to find it here. Yeah.
Yeah, great find. It looked like it was a little bit of a hanger maybe, but found his way through. It's a whole other side of the double, and that's what he's talking about. It's like, oh, there's the double up there. That's what I'm supposed to hit. 1-0 lead for Boss Hagen. This is a race to 3, so best 3 out of 5 for the king seat. Loser will go to the 3rd place match, where they will be waiting a hot minute, but not too hot. I believe the 4th place match is ongoing. Well, I'm way wrong, but they're getting closer to it.
Not in this particular bracket. Again, we've got 4 of them running for you this evening. Try to bring you as much action as we can.
Yeah, we got 2 women's divisions, the AA and the B, and then you have the pros division and the open division for the men's side. Porterfield just a steady 60.
Yeah, nobody on either team is going to be happy with a steady 60 at this level, this late in the tournament. Ton is really the bare minimum any of these players are going to be happy with.
I know Jermaine's a really good player. Do you find it interesting that he's on that first player score line with Philly?
No. I mean, honestly, again, at this level, there's a lot of parity between the top. I don't know who I would necessarily pick over him. It may also be who's pairing off for the weekend.
Oh, that's fair.
So that could play a factor of it.
Always those things that I think about when 4-man teams are going on is, what is the right combination, the right strategy. It's obviously different here because you're playing the same format each leg versus a lot of those 4-man teams where it's split up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess technically speaking, he's throwing 3rd for his team.
That's true.
So,
and Philly's the 4th player on the team.
Yeah.
Which Mike did just win the Division II, the CSE Challenger Series. So he's throwing pretty well right now.
And I think he won the AM singles last year, the single Pro A singles last year. Could be wrong on that. It might have been the amateur, but he definitely won a singles out here last year. So definitely a consistent scorer.
Yeah, because when we say amateur here, we don't mean amateur. A lot of players are very, very, very top-level players that fall into that amateur ranking after a certain amount of time. You kind of you fall off the pro list and you play in the open division. So it's usually a very challenging bracket itself.
Yeah, real slack here from Porterfield this go round, but they are going 2nd, so really wasn't their leg to win. I mean, should be trying to set up that 50. Does find the 54. Good shot.
Yeah, either way, it leaves a two-dart combination if he goes 20s or 18s there. I just wanted to show that you could hit a double bowl.
Yeah, 50 really leaves your partner lots of options. You can get to where they need to. Don't count this one out, though. This is 2 pretty straightforward triples.
Yeah, do you like staying on the 20s if the first one goes, or do you go 17s here?
I don't go 17s. I don't go 19s either. But yeah, depending on where the dart is in the 20, if I find the treble 20, I'd make a decision from there.
You don't have to say if, Gordo. We know you. You're good stuff. That first start's definitely in the treble.
Stop. I'm lucky to figure out pointy dart first or pointy end first.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah, not able to leave a finish either. So the outside chance for them is not going to happen. No pressure on this 50.
Go Bull.
The 95 is frozen. There it is, one apiece.
Would have been a lot cooler, though, if you would have hit the double bull in the first
for the boys.
You just said it yourself. There's no pressure on that shot, you know? All right, here we go. Leg number 3, 1-1 scoreline.
And just to go back, like when you're setting up teams, like I don't care what event it is, it's always best to go best player, second best player, third best player, fourth best player. And if that changes throughout the day, then you should make that change as appropriate. Just because of the number of times you're at the board, you want your best player to be at the board as many times as possible. If you start overthinking it and try to think, hey, we're going to score this many points so that the finish will usually come around the third.
Mm-hmm.
No. Don't do that to yourself. Porterfield back to Porterfielding a little bit better than last time. Already over double his average on the per turn here.
We saw Sydney's throw in the warm-ups from the side. He really flicks his fingers forward. That's what kind of propels that dart more than his arm. It's got to be so hard to control.
Yeah, I tell you, Sydney's been throwing like that for a long time. It's just like any idiosyncratic throw. It's when it's good, it's good. When it's off, it's really tough to figure out what you're doing or how to get it back.
I don't know too many people that have heard 6-syllable words like that uttered on a live stream of darts before, but it was beautiful. Here is the jet. Been thrown really well. It's a good first dart for him to follow it right on in there. Yeah, like that first dart's just so laying so perfectly for him.
Yeah, left the bed wide open. Really couldn't expect anything else to come out of that. It looks like it's another hole to throw here, fairly easily.
Yeah, so far going chalk. Ram's gonna leave 101 for Jermaine when he returns.
Yeah, I forgot to keep track, but Ram has not missed very many treble 20s.
No, no, he has not. I'm telling you, I'm going to argue that one of the most underrated players that's just not thought of as much as like the premier guy is Kevin Luke. Because he is. He's a premier guy. He travels all the time. He's kind of he's kind of that every guy, but he's so good at darts.
Well, and he's playing a lot more. Used to be you'd see him on the West Coast, but he certainly is making a concerted effort to get out there. I mean, maybe it's finishes. I mean, because we know the level that he can play at, but I mean, is he putting up the singles wins?
Yeah, I mean, when he goes to.
And that's a question.
Yeah,
I'm
not
saying it is or it isn't.
Thomas is the big number there. Ooh, almost hit the double to really kind of put him in a mess.
Yeah, that would have gummed that all up. Need a big shot here to put some pressure on.
I do like Jermaine's throw a lot. He almost has a little hop to it, which is interesting because he's so tall. And he throws the dart down anyway. You almost don't. You wonder if you could just get rid of that. I have to get it up there.
How aggressive. Up. No options there after the first dart. I wanted to see what he was going to do if he hit that treble 20.
Do you think he goes the bullseye route there?
No.
Well, then you got your answer anyway.
But I was
Interesting last start for sure on the math-wise of that, but I know that first start was hanging above the 20, maybe just trying to get low to ensure that Kevin gets a shot if Ram misses, which is less of an if right now.
Oh.
Now it isn't, for sure. And don't be surprised, folks.
Yeah, we gave him the wind-up.
We planned it.
Oh, and I even love this way. Tops. Oh, and he pulls it low. That last one, he's a quick thrower, but that one, I mean, he should have thrown with both hands.
A double axe throw there?
Yeah, to get him out as fast as he could.
Double 12 goes for Porterfield. Just nonchalantly goes up there and strikes it in two. You expected Kevin to take that out, especially with the first dart goes in the treble 19, but let's head to leg number 4. Boss Hagen up 2-1, but it's been chalk so far.
Yeah, going with throw. It's really tough to break in this format, especially with this caliber of player. It's a lot of parity. We see Kevin work around the board.
Our friend from New Zealand, Troy Leroy, is watching along on YouTube. Rushed that last gutted for the bald man. Troy has his Kiwi phrases that he'll throw in the chat quite often. But that Sydney Vaughn is one hot piece of darts. Great 180 from Sydney.
Is he throwing the tri-fins?
I did not see that, unfortunately, but now I'm going to watch for it.
I think he's throwing the tri-fins. Porterfield back into it, that 84. Been up and down a little bit in this match, but seems to come through every time needed. No surprise.
I hung out with Porterfield a little bit in Niagara Falls. Met him for the first time up there this tour season, which he did very well at that event. But, yeah, what a great human being. Great dude, just fun to play darts against. He's going to talk a little bit of trash. He's going to have a good time. That's all you really want.
Oh, big shot.
The ghost.
Yeah, good aggressive leg here from Boss Hagen against the darts. Needs a big treble. Good find, good find. Pressure over to Benny. So much match experience with this guy.
Yeah, there's nothing he hasn't seen or really been tested on. Well, he left it even on the second dart. That's smart. That'll do.
A little bit of a sarcastic
Yeah,
cheer
for
there.
sure.
Now, I expect him to shoot this correctly, and he's going to. Gonna go. Went ahead and grabbed it. Oh, not able to get to a finish though. Smart math. That is one thing that I really like about Kevin. Dart IQ is very high, working around the board.
Which is an extra level of danger that he presents as a player and an opponent. That isn't always the case when it comes to the top level player.
Sydney's second trip to the board in this leg. 80 points less than his first, but down to a finish. Porterfield needs a big shot here. Put the pressure on Jermaine.
That's a 180 from Porterfield. What a time for that.
That's enormous. Enormous.
And it ensures that Don Stewart's going to step up with 86 left.
Yep. Now even a 1080 does not freeze. And is now in danger of freezing the 127.
Which it does.
And it's already done.
By 1 whole point before the ghost throws. Another 18. No, he goes the different route. Double 4. And
Nobody
Gordon
misses double 4. Don sets it up, takes it down. 3-1 Boss Hagen.
And Troy is about to get very excited because his favorite player in the whole world stepping up to the line on the ladies' side of things, as we're going to get the women's queen seat match coming up next. Gordon, we've had a great time here in Chicago so far, and we're about to see some great darts from these ladies. So stay tuned, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to BullShooter finale here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Shaw Green, joined by Gordon Dixon. Gordon, we're about to have some good stuff in front of us. The ladies' queen seat match as we get a hat trick opener from Chrissy Grimmel, and I think we're going to see a lot of those out of these 8 ladies.
Yeah, once you get to this portion of the bracket, these ladies' matches can go so fast with that full bull master out. Lots of options. And all these ladies can pull out hat tricks back to back to back.
Well, here is Murph Meredith McGee.
Another Floridian. Getting ready to step up for her first turn at the board.
Yeah, a little bit of a different format here, Gordon, because they're playing, it's still race to 3 on the women's, or no, race to 2. I apologize. On the women's side of things, and it is 501 full bowl. So the 25 and 50 are both worth the same amount, 50 points. And then it is master out. So you can go out on a bullseye, a triple, or a double. There's no singles there. And it's Vanessa Talks, Jillian Phillips, Jessica Melton, and Taylor Thaxton taking on Chrissy Grimmel, Abby Spott, Jenny Howd, and Meredith McGee. And there is Taylor Thaxton. Got herself some fans in the chat, I've seen. Troy's in there. Ridiculous, Troy.
Jenny, probably the least known to me out of the ladies here.
Yeah, Jenny played in the women's CSI at TOC this year, and she's done that, I think, the past couple years. So while she might not be in the top 16, she's definitely in that top 32 range for the ladies.
Kevin Schmitz rooting her on in the chat.
Oh, there you go. So she's definitely a Wisconsinite then, if the Rabbits rooting for her. And she is from Medford, Wisconsin. Lives in Black River Falls.
Yeah, it's a full turn there. Again, looking at these scores, lots of parity again as we round out the first trip for all these ladies.
You can see in the background there, I know it was just mentioned by Rosner here in the chat, but a couple of the indie guys, Kyrie Washington, Trevor Sellers back there, and then, of course, Carrie, Trevor's partner last year, on their way to victory in the pro doubles, I believe. I think they're running it back this year. Aloha, Mr. Trinidad. Here is Murph. Floridian. She is wearing 3 different compression sleeves on that wrist. Plus the elbow brace. I feel like Murph's arm will fall off if she doesn't have those things on there. But still a high-level player with all that.
Yeah, Murph stepping it up after her first trip to the board. So big shot here for Taylor. Wants to stay within touching distance. All 4 of these scores.
How about out in front and leaves the finish with the 160? I love everything about that.
Absolutely incredible shot. Leaves her partner options. 1 step closer to a potential freeze.
And that 148 is Chrissy Grimmel's, and I'm telling you right now, that can go easily with Chrissy. Jillian going to step up and hit a hat trick of her own. The Utah. Fancy Pants Phillips. Now put some pressure here on Spot.
She's going to respond too.
How about 3 in the black for Abby Spot? Never a doubt in any of those 3.
No, what a shot. What a spot to do it.
No pun intended. Yeah, Vanessa taking a look at it. The first start drops it low.
Good find, good find.
Just 1 treble needed here from Chrissy and 2 bowls. Those 2 bowls will probably be rattled off first.
Yeah, should start on the bowl because there's also a play for a freeze here. Not going to happen.
Even Abby thought it was going in. That is a clutch, dangerous shot. The single 19 versus the bullseye. It's almost better to leave Murph with 82. But
yeah, 113 is in play here.
Yep. Still on. Treble 20, treble 17.
Oh, she takes a shot. Now really needs to find a big shot here. Could be looking at a big freeze. And unless she busts, you got to imagine this is going away or the 92 is not going to be in play. Just needs to leave less than 72 to freeze, but she's going to have her eye on the prize. There's the bull for the double 16.
And it goes in. I love that Abby is like looking over at the board and stuff, but there's a giant TV screen with the board screen just over to the right of the board. It's funny that she's looking back there. But here we go, leg number 2. It is just a race to 2. Reminder here in the queen seat. I Suck at This is up 1-0. Which doesn't quite say that, but it's close enough.
Maybe that's a disarming team name.
Well, it actually says I Suck at This, which is not the same thing as I Suck at This, but we're going to call it what we will. I just love the irony that the other team's name is Winning at Darts. Which they have done so far.
Yeah. No,
not an ironic team name.
Both met in the queen seat match here. Not having seen the other teams, this definitely would have been a couple that would have been in my top 3. I have no doubt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you see the team of the I Suck at This team of Chrissy, Meredith, Abby, and Jenny, and I talked to them earlier, and they were like, yeah, we battle it out on the dartboards for sure, like the 3 of us, but we're also not stupid. This is fun night. Troy, I don't think she can see your chat. If she goes back and watches, she might, but not quite sure, buddy.
So Meredith right off of the 2-dart 82 finish.
And Christy and Meredith is a great 1-2 combination to start off for that team. Typically, our doubles have been doubles partners in the past for quite a time, but that's an opening and a real gift to give the other team.
Well, again, just some breathing room straight away to hold throw here.
Fancy Pants Phillips. We actually saw her in Cleveland a couple weeks ago. Was supposed to go to the other tournament that got canceled. So she, her and Jessica Melton actually went up there to play some steel tip for the first time competitively and made the semifinals in both ladies doubles events, which is pretty awesome.
That'll play.
And that'll play from Jenny. Nice hat trick. They're still perfect on that score line.
Yeah, just unfortunate because that second score line could be an issue. But at this rate, they may get a shot before they're frozen.
Nick's one fan is in the chat saying, "Is Nick around?" Yeah, he's here. He's not allowed to talk.
Hello.
All right, I guess he is. He controls everything. I forgot.
Should have known he'd set himself up with
Yep.
a microphone.
Yep. And then, of course, he comments right away under his pseudonym. Troy doesn't know who Nick is. Troy, that's Little Boom to you. Little Boom guy. All right, here's Chrissy. Still perfect score line. And she blows that real quick. But leaving 82 won't hurt anybody. She does exactly that. Miles out in front.
Yeah, big shot. Taylor needs a big one here to assure there's some type of freeze. Taylor with a big 160 in that first leg, just not able to get down to the finish quick enough.
Yeah, and she's trying to work around that first start.
Yeah, that's a tough first start.
And Chrissy's going to step up there with the 82 left. There's really nothing. Not too much that can be done. There's still some, but it's going to involve Meredith missing.
Yeah, it all hinges on how much damage Meredith can do to this this score here. And that's
Look at Chrissy in the background. Look at Chrissy in the background. What is she doing?
Chrissy is always one to watch in the background. I've seen her sit on the floor and play patty cake with Dustin before.
Yeah, she's a character for sure. Real serious at the line, but off of it, she is just an absolute character.
So the freeze is not going to happen. So this 82
for an 11 darter
is live.
Jenny could potentially only throw 5 darts in this game.
Options. One of the options found, double 11. Oh, but it's safe.
Yep. Better than going inside.
Yep. It's safe. Better than going inside, better than going high.
Chrissy does not seem worried.
Things.
Here's Vanessa Talks. Minnesotan.
Oh, this is good.
And great darts.
This is what they needed. This is what they needed to neutralize Chrissy's options here.
Problem is that Spock can follow that real quick.
Already has a 3 and a black.
She is not going to follow that real quick. And, well, they're sitting at 311.
Yeah.
So less than one bullseye needed from Jess.
Yeah, they only need to get to, what, 204? So, or I'm sorry, 203 to freeze. So barring 2 misses of the board, 22 will not be in play. And a good last. So Chrissy probably going to look at 18 for 4.
Yeah, I like the play. I like leaving 4, especially you can't go lower. Like, that's not going to ever harm your partner. And I think last week at Whammo, we talked about that strategy a lot and how it just wasn't really utilized. Leaving 4, a lot of times they left 2 without really realizing that kind of a non-factor. But Meredith stepped up, and I think they went through, all right, so you should do this. She's like, no, I'm frozen. Frozen, Murph. Oh, okay, cool. Murph is more of the brains, and Chrissy's just the God-given talent. 7's not good. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do 7.
She threw it double 5 to leave 2. She gonna throw it 5 again. 1 to leave 6.
Double 3 or triple 2 for the fans. Look at Chris. I have no idea what I was doing there. It's probably what she just said. You saw how much she was dancing. That tells you a lot.
Yeah, and Taylor's gonna get geeked up here. I would not be surprised if this is 2 darts.
Oh, she goes about it that way too, which is so much better. Double 16.
Oh, she comes inside. Not expecting that after the treble went in. But again, time on their side. Even a 180 from Meredith takes them to 107. The 6 probably doesn't get a shot. At this point, for those ladies to win it, it's going to take a big shot from that 2 hole.
I need a couple more darts in her hand.
Yep. Can't get to a finish here.
That's just how talented these ladies are. Is they were on 11 darter, and because they didn't take that out, they've been frozen ever since. And Fancy Pants Phillips can take out this 137. Treble 20, treble 20. There's one. And she does take out the 137. Big darts from Fancy Pants Phillips. 1-1 scoreline. Let's go to a last late decider.
Yeah, big shot. So we're going to see a cork. Or who's going to start this very last deciding leg here?
Sharon, because it's master out, the bullseye triple 11 was the other route there on 83 that I think that most soft tippers would think about before the 83 on the trip 17 double 16, which of course is my preferred route, but also a little bit more risky.
All right. I suck at this is going to get us started.
I believe it's I suck at this. Make sure you said it correctly, Gordon. I would like you to just once say it correctly just for us.
Nope.
Just as a little minor, small run it back over and over again type of thing. Like a little gif. Just of you saying that. If you can do it with like a little extra Italian emphasis too, that'd be better.
All right, Chrissy, get us started here.
Interesting.
Yeah, drop off there.
Here is Melton. Just the other Utah of that team.
Good last dart.
Yeah, I think she would have liked more, though, with Chrissy starting out how she did.
Yeah, it was certainly an opening straight away. Anytime you can get Chrissy to only find one bull.
This scoreline is the one that struggled in the last leg. So Murph getting it started. Would have liked to start off better than that, too. But anything you can do, I can do the same.
Yeah, numbers, strange thing. It's a couple of different ways to get to that score, and we've seen a couple of them.
Reminder, this is the Queen seat. The Monsters of the Midway. Thursday night tournament here. And that's a huge hat trick from Taylor Thaxton.
Yeah, big start.
Jenny's had moments of brilliance. 81 scored there. That's Chrissy's score line. The two of them. Jillian, we just saw the masterful 137 checkout. And that, not masterful. That's called bad luck. Only get 9 scored. That's a quarter in the jar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely unlucky. Literally below the average of the numbers on the board for all three.
You know what I like most about Abby's throw is that those first 2 darts drop low, right? But she doesn't adjust by throwing the dart harder. She adjusts by just extending her arm towards the target a little bit more. And that's the way that you should kind of adjust there. But big hat trick. Now that's the score line that's perfect.
Wonder if they'll make any adjustments. I mean, it's tough to take Fancy Pants out of the top 2 after the 137.
Would you like to see Chrissy try to go 170 there at the very least?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think you have to in that spot.
After those first 2 darts, the best she could have done was 184, which is not a finish.
That said, I did not have high hopes after watching the 22.
It's fair. Trying to get down to
of the previous leg.
That is very fair. Troy actually called Chrissy's move back there the haka. It's from New Zealand. He should know, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a good call out. All right, so same kind of scenario as we had last time. Taylor and Vanessa probably only going to get 6 darts at this, depending on how their one team does. Oh,
I like that she does this. The step back, regroup.
She's got to switch. 57 or 19.
I feel like I'm okay with the bullseye here. And she doesn't hit it, but the 119, again, master out, just bullseye, 19 bullseye. Is very simple in this type of a situation.
Yeah, but if she misses into something that doesn't leave her a finish. But that outcome is avoided. And looks like not much damage there, only 36. So Jillian Phillips, again, with a big 137, just not really to the races. You see, he scored 9 her first time up here. He is going to change that.
Yeah, definitely good enough.
Marches up and takes those darts out of the board. Great shot.
Avoids any potential freeze. Because even a 180 does not leave enough to, with the 195 to freeze. Abby doesn't leave a finish. Wouldn't have been able to after a dart 2 anyway. Fallout, stop that. So this can go.
She would have still had a finish. Bull 51-51 is the route. And I like that in this scenario. Best to get down as quickly as possible. So normally you would have seen a 19 or even a 51 to leave 48, but the big fat bullseye is so juicy right now.
Chrissy would love 3 of them. Because that almost will flip this game around.
All right, another big shot here for the 1 hole for winning at darts.
You can see she's struggling in this leg, only a 21.5. So averages are an average for a reason. You expect this to be a pretty good round.
Oh, no.
This is not a good sign. Bullseye absolutely needed.
Almost needed trep 20. Bull would have already been frozen at 182.
On both score lines there? It's the combination of the score lines.
Well, I'm looking at two bulls from here.
But I got
you. You're right. You're right.
Oh yeah, especially because Meredith. Yeah, coming up.
She hasn't
exactly.
hit it yet.
No, I get what you're saying now. Just so much easier now for Meredith to. Yep, there it is. Before I even could say it.
Still not done.
The 49 cannot go. 159 is lower than 227.
Yeah, the last time Taylor was up, we said they probably only had 36 before they're frozen. Maybe a double 15, maybe two more single 15s.
Yep.
Most likely winning at darts is going to need a big finish from their one-hole team, and they're going to have to fade a lot of darts from these ladies right here. Oh, one more at double 14.
Yeah, they're going to need I suck at this to live up to their namesake for a couple minutes. 14's not easy. Double 7 is definitely not my friend. The 67, though, from Spot is what the problem really is. But now's a good time as any to hit a hat trick.
Okay, there's the big finish.
So this is the one they have to fade.
Yep, fade a 67, fade a double 7.
Bullseye. And there it is. Abby Spot. And I suck at this. Win it 2-1. They are your queen seat, excuse me. And as we head on over to the pro side, and well, this guy looks familiar.
It's a limb.
Not the World Championship finalist limb, but I guess the sun will do. They're taking on the Darts Army team, which is the Spanish team that is here.
I'm assuming representing Spain in the international.
Yeah, Daniel Zapata just made Spain's PDC World Cup team. He's playing for. He's Zappa. He's not even going first for his team. That's not a good sign for their opponents, which is a great team of Dason Albers, Chris Lim, Trev's on the team, and there's at least one more monster. And there is Zappa. The other thing that we got to mention with that, right, is the PDC, because he's making the PDC World Cup team, that means he's playing steel tip, which means he definitely knows this format.
Yeah, this should be very familiar to him.
Here's the Porkster.
The Porky stepping in there. You buy a set of that man's darts, and you get 4 of them.
Yeah, the 4M Nations. They're actually called the Formations, but someone couldn't get that correct when they were reading it out loud.
Can you clarify that's not me?
Yeah, it's definitely Will. It was Will. I just didn't think it would shock everybody, you know. And here is T-Bomb. Trevor Bubbles. This is a local event for Trev.
The rude dartboard making the triple sound when you hit a 111. the crueler things that Arachnid does to you.
Oh, the when it's not a hat trick.
Just the triple sound.
Oh yeah.
When you're that close, it takes you a second to realize that. Oh yeah, you're 57 points short.
Oh, Will's listening. He said we are number 4. Can't believe you're gonna let him talk to you like that, Gordon. Do that to our face tomorrow, Will.
I just thought that was 2 for each of you.
You said for the commentators. And since it's the plural and Nick's not speaking, that's us.
Oh yeah, that was rude as hell.
Yeah, you didn't even do anything to you, Will. That's Jason Albers does leave the finish on the 153. Lightning on 121. Race to 2 here on the loser side.
Who's the other half of Spain? Does anyone?
I do not know that answer to your question. I tried to think of a PDC,
That's what I was.
and I couldn't think of one. So
I was trying to run through the
maybe
Rolodex.
is it?
Ustia?
Yeah, Ulistica or Ulisco.
Jose Justicia.
Yeah. Is that who it is? We're confirming that information. I don't even know why we're honestly bringing it up right this second. Who can Google faster than Nick? Go.
His name is Rixie, it looks like. But I don't have a last name.
Okay. Sweet.
Hmm.
Is that Ricardo? Treble 19. Would have left the double 18. But so far, so good. The freeze is on. So Trevor did his job. Yeah, Ricardo Carballo.
Oh, I thought maybe I had it mixed up. Maybe Jose was not Spanish, but I'm pretty sure he's Spanish
he is.
with a tour card.
I don't think he has a tour card anymore.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, so Lightning tops. And he pins that dead center for start. 1-0 lead for 3 monsters and Trev. Pickle, they're European, man. You gotta go with it.
David to get us started.
I've heard those are like the hey dudes of Spain.
They do look comfy.
And I mean, I'm more worried about the tight jorts he's got on too. That whole outfit. Of course, when we did DPFL, Gordon, and we had like Jean Ben being there and yellow class, and they all wore jorts, tight jorts like that. He's even got some tears in his. Here's Zappa. If we're going to talk about darts, I guess, again, instead of wardrobe.
Yeah, we cannot zoom in on those shorts ever again.
Those are above the knee, if you know what I'm saying.
That'd be a good idea to stay on YouTube.
All right, here comes Nino.
Yeah, Nino, just a little bit of a what I call a fake follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Is he lets go of the dart kind of staccato and then acts like he's following it through. So one of those throws we were talking about earlier that kind of all the pieces need to come together.
And only 58 from Porky. He's going to put that player 1 spot for the Spanish team in the driver's seat.
Little known fact, Porky does also sell shoes, and you get 3 of them when you buy them.
But one of them is a size smaller.
Just as useful as that 4th dart.
Well, for him, he has 4 different flights that he can choose from. So if one's unlucky, then he can change it out.
Oh, yeah. See, I can't. No. Mm-mm.
Like, you'll notice he'll throw the same 3 darts, like, color-wise, each turn.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, my brain, I would way overthink that. Like, as soon as the red one started going in, I'd be like, oh, I got to throw the red one. Like,
Red one first.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life.
There's enough to think about with the throw anyway. All right, let's have a little immaculate 6 here. Lightning can hit the 180. That will leave 170. Kenny, I don't doubt that. I didn't even know that they made jorts in his size. Or that a man of his size could even wear jorts legally.
I think this is one of only 7 countries that allows it.
None of those communist countries, though. That's what's important.
Yeah, little bit of a fall off from everyone here.
Tournament King is where the brackets are located. We zoom in on the slides, I guess, of Dason. He does leave a finish. First one to that finish. And I can tell you that the Spanish team is the team that took out, put in the loser side, Mike Maloney's team earlier. They said they hit a 161 checkout in the last league decider. Not a whole lot you can do about that.
On the winner's side, it's best of 5?
Yeah, race to 3. Oh, Porky's got to get something going here. Needs a big treble. Does find it.
A little bit of pressure here for 279. Does not want to make this an easy shot to try to freeze. See the frustration.
Yeah, that's a big last dart.
Yeah. There are options. Could just take it out.
Yeah, that's what I would plan on doing right now. Not anymore, I wouldn't. Oh, no.
But now, 116 in play. Take us to a decider. Oh, David not going to find it. Big last, though, brings it all the way down to 16. Chris, no finish from 176.
Not even if he borrows one of Porky's starts.
Everybody just sliding a little left and right here. You see the big long blink there from Chris as he goes to retrieve his darts.
Zappa's going to make that handy. Now the 129 not able to go. 70 lower than 133. Well, that'll work.
Got him down there. Little pressure on the 16. Does not want to give them a Game shot.
Oh, and he's been the player that's been a little bit nervous for the team, it seems like, too, and that's an unlucky bust. I like how you can just pick up the dart at the line, though. That was kind of nice.
Yeah. Didn't have the insult of walking all the way up to the board to pull out the bust. So Porky for the match. 1-3-3. Not gonna happen.
And he can't freeze now either.
Porky shows his angry face.
Last start's just almost annoying. Like at a certain point. Like, wow, enough to do nothing. Great. You're going to have to fade this 54. Oh, double six. Happy little accident. Oh, no. Still frozen, though.
Yep, still frozen. Yeah, that was the other problem with not getting it down any lower. Chris comes up, pushes off. So David again for double eight. Nino busting the last time up.
Wow. Can you believe none of those even like tail whipped into it or something?
Yeah, that's wow.
That's not something that you really expect. Oh, that's not either. And
he busts.
You have to go outside.
So now the two's not going to get a shot.
Oh,
even if they miss. What a!
If you just go up there and hit the button when you hit the first dart, the two gets a chance, and most likely you continue to get chances.
Yeah.
But instead, let's go to a last league decider.
Wow. Well, that gave you pretty much every element of freeze rule.
Was that leg 3? No. That's just leg 2. Just kidding. They just all like were so happy about it that it was like, all right, great match. Like kind of
yeah. All right. So the all important cork here. Oh, what a dart. Now this will be a kick in the pants.
Is that? Oh, he got it by one hole.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked like he was inside.
He threw that dart exactly where he wanted to, though. That was unlucky that it didn't land in the second or even the center hole.
Yeah, so Spain kind of getting away with one there. Even though they did have first crack at it, I mean, they missed a bunch of darts there to take it. Would have expected one of the Monsters or Trev to take it down. They're going to get us started here.
Yeah, and wouldn't you agree, Gordon, that what that does, they missed all those darts at doubles and still won the leg, so it's almost like it's a relief that, oh, I don't have to be perfect to win this, and they can kind of settle down a little bit. They seamed a little bit on edge through the first couple legs.
Yeah, they got away with it. I mean, it doesn't hurt. So, yeah, they're able to come right back to the board in the next leg and start with two big triples. Whereas Three Monsters and Trev, they got a shot at winning the entire match, and weren't able to convert.
And now you're seeing this team from Spain really put the pedal to the floor, because that's a 180 from Zappa. Showing off maybe what he'll do in Germany. Yeah, and the Monsters and Trev are just not hitting two trebles at least. Nino's been struggling. He still hit two trebles.
Yeah, everybody on that Spanish team knows they got away with one, and have just really settled in here. Going to really take something from these Monsters to turn this around.
It's almost like they got hit with a haymaker with how they're responding right now. Good recovery darts from Porky, but still not good enough.
Look at this.
Oh.
Look at this.
Quit on the last dart. We got 5 into it.
Gave up. Oh, now darts that were going in before are on the wire.
Great darts from Ruiz, too. 45, 3, 3, 60. Do they have a player that's not averaging at least 45?
I don't think so.
This is definitely the Spanish team that now is starting to look like the team that put Maloney on the loser side.
That up shot here.
180 would be nice.
Zappa. Doesn't even really need it. Again,
Yeah, great darts.
2 big trebles a turn. Pretty handy for Team Spain. Shake of the head.
First look for the match for Nino. Great first start. And there's the double 16. And man, you want to talk about that team from Spain just took off in that last leg decider. And Fancy Pants Phillips going for the treble 18. This is the 3rd place match. And winning at darts is up 1-0 already. So Karen to send us to a last leg decider.
Oh, she's not able to find it.
It always stinks when that happens, Gordon.
Doesn't always stink, but that one was particularly frustrating. The Vanessa push off here. Bree.
Oh, unable to go for Bree. So Melton a chance now. Bullseye needed. To win the leg and the match. A spot in the finals.
Oh, she's going to need the next 2. Squares it up.
And pins the double 9. So Jess Melton gets it done. So that will be the final setup for the ladies. It'll be that team that we just saw in the Queen Seat match. It's a rematch. So that match will be coming up next. Don't go anywhere, folks. More action coming your way from the monsters of the Midway here at BullShooter. I'm Sean Green, joined by Gordon Dixon. Back with more action right after this. Welcome back to the 39th annual BullShooter finale in Chicago, Illinois. This is the Monsters of the Midway third place match, and that's a 180 from Sydney Vaughn as we get back to the action. I'm Sean Green, joined by Gordon Dixon. Good stuff. We are waiting the ladies to start the final. Until then, we're going to bring you some coverage of this third place match.
Yeah, both teams we've already seen. We kind of know what we're in for. We just saw the Spanish team have a pretty epic comeback after a sloppy second leg. Just ran over three monsters and Trev.
Both sides of it were on 11 darters after 9. I don't care what team you're playing against. That's difficult.
Yes, they were all finding that trouble with a lot of regularity, and we see him back here against Billy Germain. Forget who all is on this team.
Not important. No, I'm just kidding.
Porterfield and Kevin Luke.
It's Kevin Luke and Sydney Vaughn.
Sydney Vaughn, that's right. The man hitting the 180 as soon as we tuned in here.
Billy's been struggling. I'll say it. I think I understand why Jermaine's going third on the team just based off of tonight, right? Which that can happen. Here's David Ruiz, and that's a 180 from Ruiz.
I like it. He left it out there a little bit. Little white men can't jump. leaving it out there dangling.
I have seen that movie, surprisingly.
And he is Latino for the Spanish team.
Oh, yeah. No, just
European.
referencing the movie.
He's just European, right? He wouldn't be Latino. He's European. And that's a 180 from Zappa, and that's what we were talking about, Gordon.
Three of them in a row here.
Just hammer time, and Sydney's stepping up, who started it for us.
What Sydney does. Luckily finds the trouble, so he's still got options here.
That'll work. Man, look at this start in this third place match. Eno, most likely 12 potential. Technically on for 11. Trouble 19. Would have left 24.
Shake of the head.
Now this is interesting. It's interesting because of the freeze, right?
Yeah, because the objective here is to get down as far as possible. So not a normal shot that you would see to set up from 62, but understandable with this this format. 41 though is live.
Double 16 from Jermaine. And that's a 1-0 lead for Always Late to the Party. And wouldn't that be crazy if they won this whole thing? Because they would have come from the loser side because they were always late. But we've seen Darts Army go down 1-0 before and just steamroll from there.
Well, I don't know that they're going to be able to get away with a sloppy leg as they did in the last round. My guess is that was their get-out-of-jail-free card here in the loser's bracket.
So I think I'm going to break some glass for everybody here real quick. David Ruiz looks like the main character from Office Space. And you are all welcome.
I will be looking for it.
I was trying to think of the guy's name the whole time. Peter. Looks like Peter.
Yeah, I would have said Jennifer Aniston's boyfriend.
That's fair. But not when she was dating Brad Pitt. You were talking about it in the movie.
Yes.
All right, here's Maine. Took out the last leg. The chat's already agreeing with me. Peter Gibbons. There you go.
Peter Gibbons. Wow. Yeah, these were trebles in that third leg. The Spanish team just not finding them the regularity. Really needs to find a treble.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Do it all, and you see starting to wear on him.
Yeah, Peter's happy as he steps up here. Nice 140. You went to a hypnotherapist and learned how to play darts. Yeah, Ron Livingston's his actual name. Thank you, Felicia. Eric, all of them. All right. Here's Zappa. He's on 3-2-4. And he's going to ensure that Ruiz gets a shot by giving himself an even better shot. That's a 180 from Zappa. Part of the World Cup team for Spain. Where everyone's playing for second place, right, Gordon? On paper?
Yeah, on paper, that's a heck of an English team.
It's just number 1 and number 2 in the world. What do you mean?
Look at that.
Great 174 from Sid. This can go. Last start unlucky to hit that 555 instead of the 111. And we'll see if Kirkendall can put this as low as possible. Another one of those situations where you might just tee up 40 or 36 or something, but you might need to try to go as low as possible to freeze the 73 or the 144.
Oh, only finds one. The 144 in play. Nothing special here.
This is their number 4.
20s.
And right there, with a lot of room.
Oh. Where's he go here? Should be 48.
I actually kind of like the treble 20 there to leave 4. Just it would have not frozen Philly, but this is live as well.
Yeah, 128. All sins forgiven. This goes in. Great start. Gonna stay there for double 10.
I like these asking.
At this stage, not. He's got another dart in his hand, and it doesn't happen. Maybe 60.
Oh no!
Not what he was looking for there.
Now Gibbons can take out 73 and 2.
Well, more importantly, he doesn't even need to take it out to freeze. 14 or less.
Which does make this an interesting setup play, right? He doesn't.
Oh, and he doesn't do it. Yeah, I mean that's one of those times where like he probably shot what he was most comfortable with in the moment. I don't know, from 56 maybe 48. And then you've got 20. Now the single 20 doesn't leave you out. Yeah, interesting spot. Probably best to just hit what you know. As Kevin Luke polishes this one off with a 76 finish.
And that's for the match.
Great shot.
Yeah, I mean, and they had to do that as we jump right over for leg number 1 of the ladies' finals here for the Monsters of the Midway.
The ladies off and running here.
Here is Meredith McGee. The team of I Suck at This is your queen seat holder. Meredith, Chrissy, Abby Spot, and Jenny Hode. Here is Jillian Phillips. With a nice hat trick.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. You're right. Even when I said it, it didn't make sense because that would have been a much easier decision than what he was debating there.
Jenny unable to do anything.
Vanessa sticks in, finds a bull. Against the darts here in this first leg.
Here is Abby Spot. Nice low ton from Abby. I love opening night. See all the people watching along in the background as we're getting down to all of our finals. Opening night here in Chicago. The Hyatt Regency by the O'Hare Airport. We get to hear some planes take off. Little shoulder turn from Chrissy Grimmel that tells you that she's feeling good when she's moving. The more she moves, especially when she's back there, the better she's feeling.
Before and after the shot. Seen some big shots from Taylor, and we've seen some ordinary stuff. Happens to be a good follow after the first dart. Still no finish. Pressure on Meredith. Jillian need to stay within touching distance of each other. Can get to a finish with only one triple. See if she starts down. Forgetting the women are playing full bull. Don't have to mess around with those triples early in those shots. No chance to leave a finish now. Just plugs in another bull.
Yep. We'll let the 156. Last start with a treble 20, but opts for the bullseye to leave the 166.
Very true.
Which is, I don't think, a huge deal. As just a shout out real quick, the ladies finals that's going on currently. It's Suzanne Young, Kayla Burgett, Melissa Dahlmeyer, and Kim against Sarah P., Roanna DeMars, who is Dason's mom, Nicole Torres, and Bree Wunderlich. Names that we have definitely seen, for sure. And that Suzanne Young is that player that I have mentioned many times from Southern Indiana that is just an absolute player who just does not travel. Gordon probably knows about the Youngs from Indiana State. That whole family has just got some great players.
Very solid. Plus, I just like seeing the families like that.
Well, and their story for how everyone started playing darts in that family is really special. They had oldest son passed away, and he was a dart player. And so, in honor of him, all of them took up darts as a hobby.
I did not know that was the origin story.
And all of them are so good at darts. It's gross how great they are. Wagner, yeah, I agree. Nicole Torres is coming up pretty quick. Chrissy doing Chrissy things. With the shoulder turn.
Yeah.
Here is Mrs. Thaxton. Troy. Mrs. Thaxton.
Start winding him up again.
Well, it's like daytime for him. It's not like he's getting late. It's getting more reasonable for him to communicate.
Meredith, 56. Go one away from the title.
6 for Bull here on Master Out. Reminder, Master Out, bullseye, a treble, or a double. And it will be the bullseye.
Knock it just in the corner. Oh, she's still got a whack.
Good old
Good
triple
fallout.
Got to watch out for the triple 14 above.
Reset. Taking her time.
Aaron's waving to some people back there. All are frozen. So the 129 cannot go. Oh, there you go. Liz Tyne in the chat said Nicole was fire in Queen of the Cornfield. And Suzanne was fire and beat the pro in EDC recently, where she beat me in the final after sending me to the loser's side.
Okay.
I told you, Suzanne is a player.
That is
And if Liz Tyne is saying that,
quite a feat. Yeah, no, for sure.
Beat her twice in the evening. There's not a lot of people that can say that about Liz. Treble 14 goes for Jenny. And I suck at this. Wins this, or is up 1-0 as we go to leg number 2. You put that in there real quick. Nicely done. Or is that it? You're just fast at it? Okay. I like that you're not talking anymore. Anyway, he's giving me nonverbal cues. Like that's like he's not even on. Like he
So
just.
Normally there's 2 commentators and then the producer just.
You didn't have to
shuts the
talk.
heck up
You didn't have
the
to
whole
talk to
time.
them. You could just like
Okay,
audibly
sorry.
say something to me.
Yeah,
You know.
You're good. I'll go ahead and.
Hey, bye, Nick. We really need to find some better help.
Serious. Didn't have board sounds for half of the leg.
Yeah, for a whole half of the leg. Actually, a whole leg, at least. I don't know.
Taylor to get us started here. Must-win leg here for winning at darts.
We'll still have to change that team name. But that's a great start from Taylor Thaxton. This is actually three ladies that were in the women's final at Booyah Cup, and I believe all 3 of these ladies that were in that had perfect 10 darters during that match.
Wow.
Chrissy, Abby, and Taylor Thaxton. And here is Fancy Pants Phillips. We've seen the Utah do a lot of great things this evening. I love the chat. They all agree with us. They're so friendly.
Best chat in the business.
I'm telling you what. There was that one guy who didn't know your voice. That was crazy.
He's a jackwagon.
That was his name. He does own that. Sadly, his name's just actually Jack Wagon. Nothing you can do about it.
No, that name sticks out. I know he's been in my chat before.
Well, that's Gordon Dixon. I'm Sean Green. I'm the one you don't know, probably.
Stop. You're all over the internet.
Yeah, but not in the right spots.
I'm telling the CDC.
Well, that YouTube channel's only really been going on for a couple years now. They missed my best work from the start. It's been downhill ever since then. Here is Jenny. Wisconsinite.
Jenny with a 22-42-64 finish.
I think that's called textbook.
Bang.
Jessica Melton. I like that it's on the same pair as Jillian Phillips, too, because you know that is actually going to be a doubles team this weekend. So you called that earlier.
Yeah. That's right or wrong. That's usually how those teams form.
Looks like the Open Finals will be going on shortly. It's Team Poland for the Open Finals. Chris Pohl, Tommy Cat 85, Wojty, and Irish Leprechaun is on the Polish team, by the way, as they're taking on Flying Elbows. And I know that Flying Elbows team is going to be a Lafayette, Indiana team right around that area. The Bud Crystal name. Yep, so Bud Crystal, Ron Thompson, Matt Haynes, and Robert Swain. So there you go. I knew Bud would be responsible for that. Yeah, it's Chesnik Basinski. I don't know why I'm messing up that one.
You give it a whack.
Christoph Lauer, Tamaz Mikulski, and Camille Janowitz. And I believe Janowitz is the Irish leprechaun. His name's Camille. I'm going to call one of them a liar, and I think it's going to be the one that's the Irish one, because those names do not scream that at me at all. I guess it's better than Polish leprechaun. Maybe he's really short.
Team Poland, your European BullShooter Championship Nations event team winner. They got the flight out here.
Nice, and they're playing in the Open division for the team.
Wow.
Yep, didn't think about that when I started saying my first sentence.
And also, they're coming from the loser side. They didn't even make the king seat match.
So we've got a Polish team. We've got a Spanish team. The American team is going to be Mike Segal, Mike Porterfield, Ram Guevara, and George Daniels. As I pull up that graphic. Do we have any other insight on international teams?
Yeah, I think I know we have 6. I was told this year, so up 2 from last year. I know that there's some Canadians floating around there. Saw Dave Cameron
always participates.
Saw Dave Cameron.
But I don't know the specifics of the teams at the moment.
I saw Dave Cameron without a hat tonight, which is great because Dave Cameron with a hat is just weird. I feel like it's a completely different player than Dave Cameron without a hat. And how can you be nicknamed Excalibur when you're wearing a hat? And it's not like a normal hat. He has like a small Sandlot hat. Got a longer bill.
I was just going to say, like, every time I see Dave Cameron in a hat, I think he should have, like, a brown bag lunch in his hand, like, swinging.
He looks 20 years younger with a hat on.
As he skips to the board, yeah. 100%. Winning at darts, doing their best to hold them off here to send this to a decider in the first set. Again, we are watching the ladies' final.
You can see that arm placement right there on the scaffolding behind the players. Actually, it's on the other side that's happening too. Because Tori's not touching it. Tori Gilstrap is in the background there, another player that is a very good up-and-coming player. She also is responsible for the Dynamite tattoo. She did that live on air. while doing commentary. It was very impressive. But Taylor Thaxton, 108 left.
Leaves options. Not many.
I remember when I was a young player, the 96 was always fun for me because I would go trip 16, which is just not the right route at all. I think Chrissy's going to go first, Meredith. But Chrissy's frozen. Never a good thing for a Floridian.
Looking up.
Yeah, it's an awkward one, right?
It's master out.
Yeah, and I actually like that for master out.
I don't hate that for the options that she had.
Not exactly the madhouse with the straight jacket on. Michaela, it is the men's final. We have an update. You can actually get updates on League Leader, on Tournament King. It will update you leg by leg. There it is in our chat for you.
Yeah, it's one of the best upgrades that we've had to the tournament series this year. Having all of the boards networked to give those live updates. So even if we can't stream your friends, your loved ones, your favorite players, you can follow along. As soon as we rid the Dart world of nicknames
on the brackets, yeah,
you'll be able to know instantly who you're following along.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, let's just call it what it is. Nicknames and team names are just brutally bad. Like, it makes our job so much harder, and that's just never fun. We don't want a harder job. Oh, a double 7 does not go, but still frozen is a 3. That being said, Abby Spot with the shot at 150. If that ends up getting to that spot, that's not a shot you want to see if you're the opponent. Is Jenny going to try? Oh, you don't want to hit the 3, though. You do not want to hit the triple. That's dangerous, right? There's just no reason for that.
Yeah.
There's legit no reason with it being a master out. 3 is going to be below what they could possibly leave.
Yeah, maybe.
It makes the shot harder.
Maybe that's the conversation
that they're having now.
They're having? I don't know. But Jess Melton going to step up here for 52, hopefully looking to tie this matchup. She was trying to hit that 2 to leave the bull.
Does so, but just barely there. It just, none of it, it just didn't look.
No, there wasn't anything comfortable about that shot from the first to the last dart.
This can go. Abby Spot more than capable of taking this out.
For the match. Not going to happen. Got a shake of the head.
Shorts all 3 of them. And unfortunately, the last 2 did not unfreeze their partner.
Yeah, double 13 now.
Leonard Gates.
The Gates. Both in the same spot, low and to the right of that double 13.
I like that she yelled at herself there. Gave herself her own come on. And it worked. Great darts from Taylor Thaxton. As we're going the distance on dip number 1 potential here in the finals of the ladies.
Ladies.
Nick, you actually do a really good job impersonating that, by the way.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, exactly. He has to ruin compliments whenever I give it to him. Like, actually give him a real compliment, ruins it immediately. That's why we're always mean to him.
Here comes the diddle for the last leg here in the first set. I suck at this.
Yes. Yes.
One leg away from winning it. Winning it darts, one leg away from taking it to a deciding set.
And someone wants to go ahead and just cut that for us real quick. We have a new theme song. Just that on repeat. You even said it with a little extra oomph on it. I appreciate it.
Get a baby AI to say that.
You're in.
And put it out as a TikTok. I would be forever grateful. That is my entire algorithm. Solid shot. Winning at darts with the opportunity, because they have the throw here.
Chrissy, a great low ton herself. Technically, it's a better shot than Taylor hit by 1 whole point. And if I'm Chrissy, I'm walking back and be like, all right, game over. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, Jillian and Meredith starting off for the second teams here for both teams. Been a little sketchy.
That last start was a flyer for.
Murph and them costing some match darts by freezing Chris in the last one. Want to set that right for sure.
And typically do. If they have an off leg, they usually find it again. Meredith showed me that her glasses today, the front part where the colors are, it pops off, and she has like 9 different colors to choose from, which she was super stoked about because she can match her glasses to her jerseys.
Very nice. And there we see a 2 full shot from her.
She's wearing an homage to the early 90s BullShooter events, so she's wearing a very old early 90s staff shirt for BullShooter. She doesn't know who gave it to her.
Vanessa doesn't find 2 of her own. Small opportunity here for Jenny. Start giving some daylight here. And what could be the deciding leg for the entire match. And she fills it up.
There's Jenny. Throwing some Jenny darts. Picks up Chrissy there. Great round.
Be interesting to see how Spot responds here. The body language has not been good.
Well, it's Abby. Abby could be at the greatest party that ever exists, and her body language is not going to show that. If it's competition. Dropping the darts low. Yeah, it does find on the last 2. Great darts. Good recovery.
Yeah, important shot there. Over to Taylor.
And that's brutal because she throws from that side of the Aki, so Bulls are almost blocked for her.
Oh, she tries to place that last one. Just falls short. A big, big opportunity now.
Reminder, the finals for the men's pro side will be coming up next. Boss Hagen which is the team of Mike Porterfield, Benny Dersh, Ram Guevara, and Don Stewart. And they'll be taking on the team of Mike Segal, Kevin Luke, Jermaine Kirkendall, and Sidney Vaughn. A rematch of the King Seat match that went to Boss Hagen 3-1.
And to answer the chat, we saw them take on Team Spain.
Yep.
In the third place match. That is what was racing the screen before.
And Murph hits a hat trick. What a time for that. And, man, in the driver's seat. I suck at this.
Yeah, big leg for them. Having to go second. Kind of hinging on that Taylor Thaxton throw, as we see Vanessa with a low ton. So even another 30 or 50 points from Taylor would have put them at a finish.
16. Bullseye for the match and the title. And Jenny throws 6 perfect darts in that leg out of nowhere to win it.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, her and Chris were the strongest doubles team that we saw.
Yep.
On the women's side. There they got to take full advantage of the lead they carved out there. We saw all the ladies exchanging the niceties there. No doubt we will see some mixture of all of these same ladies throughout the weekend.
Yep, absolutely.
We're looking at quite the crew here. Not the only ladies that we'll see throughout the weekend, but some really big names that we'll continue to see as we get a shot of Team Poland in that amateur final.
Yeah, taking on the Flying Elbows crew. So we'll put that on the stream for you guys to watch and enjoy as we step away. The finals of the pro side will be in the pit coming your way next. Well, Gordon, the moment we've been waiting for all night long, the finals of the Pro Monsters of the Midway here on this Thursday at the 39th annual BullShooter finale in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Sean Green, and that's Kevin Luke getting us started. We have ourselves a great battle, race to 3. Boss Hagen is your king seat holder, and that team features Ram Guevara, Mike Porterfield, Benny Dersch, and Mike Segal. And they're taking on the team of Kevin Luke, Sydney Vaughn, and I don't know why I'm blanking that. Oh, yeah, of course, Jermaine Kirkendall and Philly. So I was wrong in the first team. It's because the ghost is actually Don Stewart.
It's Don Stewart.
I don't know, guys. There's 4 people playing for each team. That's all you need to know at this point. Welcome to Midnight Talk Show with Gordon and Sean.
It's 108 where I
exactly.
Grew up, so.
Me too. Where I grow up. We're grown, I think, at this point. Where I grow up, it's 108. I'm using that from now on.
No, for sure.
Where I grew up, yeah. All right, main event stepping up, 361 after the 140.
Yeah, we've seen all these guys. Actually, a rematch of the king seat.
Yeah,
went 3-1 the last time these two faced off. Haven't really seen anything that's kind of going to tell us that's not going to be the case again. We'll have to really see Always Late to the Party step it up to turn that one around.
And that was good to see from Philly there, the last start on the 1919. He's been the one player that I think that we have not seen those darts out of him yet. He's a part of Team USA.
I was just going to say there's some extra pressure on him this weekend. Playing for your country is always gives you a little bit more pressure, and you want to have confidence going into that. So then you start pressing in the opening event like this. But honestly, he's already in the final. He's got a great group of guys around him, so he'll be able to draw some positives out regardless.
Great counting there from Kevin Luke to leave the 170 finish. Hey, look, we're going to feature Mike Maloney for the first time on stream this weekend. Sitting down watching.
Couldn't miss an opportunity to get on screen. I'm sure rooting on.
He looks like Nick on ESPN last year.
His buddy.
Sitting in the perfect spot where he's on TV the whole time. Whoa. Oh, as Nick would say, that's the wrong button, which it was what he said because he hit it. We still need better help. Well, the Porterfield duo is way back on 356.
Yeah, another shaky leg from Porterfield, or at least opening shot.
Rectifies
it there.
There's Hulk Smash. Well, it's Benny, but Hulk Smash is there behind him. Still, same shot. Same thing still counts from before. Here's main event.
Sloppy setup. No finish at 191. Should be at a pretty good one after this, though.
Yeah, great 140 to lead 51. Now the question will be this player 2, right?
Yeah, important shot here for Philly, too. Yeah, nice switch. Mine's 2 of them. Big shot there. Was a little worried of how quickly the head shakes after that first start, but definitely rectified the situation.
There's Mike. We really want to give him that FaceTime.
Serious.
Someone's in the chat texting their friend back there who just waved. Hey, I can see you in the corner of the camera. Shout out to that guy.
Good last there from Benny.
No freeze either direction, so this 125 can go for Luke. Someone already called the 5 bowls. But that's not going to happen. I don't like the second dart either.
Made a mess of it. So 51 live. 11 for tops. Ooh.
Ram's going to hit that 9 times out of 10.
I would have called that inside on that that second dart, but gave him a miss, and Ram steps up there. Boss hog and taking the first leg.
Hogging all the wins is what they're doing.
Always lead to the party to start again.
And count them on up. 1, 2, 3 from Luke.
Only 82. Ram there.
There's a question for you, Gordon. Best nickname in darts?
I mean, as early as he got it, the power.
That was the first one that came to my mind. The Crafty Cockney was my other choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of alliteration, too.
I am, too. Yeah.
So, I mean, some of those have got to be in there.
I love the Crafty Cockney just because it's a Han Solo's a great nickname too. I love Tyler Hensey so much for throwing that in there. Just because it's an American bar that Eric Bristow would go to.
Yeah, no, I would probably like just knee-jerk reaction. I would say the power, but I mean like the bullet. I like the bullet. I like the Saint. Alan Tavern. Yeah, gosh, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's some that I can't stand, but that's yeah, that's the first one that popped in my head because it's just so on the money.
You like Trent's nickname the best?
No, I don't like T-Dub's nickname for me. I will say the best one I've seen you guys give is the Fancy Pants Phillips for Jillian Phillips. That's probably the one I'm the biggest fan of a given on our stream nickname.
Did you give her that nickname? Oh, it was you?
I also, whether you like it or not, I also named Dr. Handsome.
Oh, I like that. I mean, it certainly fits. Well, the second half.
Oh, my goodness. There's a lesser-known one, too. We called somebody Bouncy.
You didn't have to do the motion at all.
Oh.
We got it. We got it. Oh, Jack Wagon's a fan of Nick, so that's why. That makes perfect sense.
A man of taste and culture.
A nice ton 40 here. Leave a finish from 304. Always going the other way. Another trouble. Leave him too. He's not going to get there.
Mike needs a big shot here.
Yeah, keep him in with a shout. I would not be surprised though if Luke goes ahead and cleans this up after some woes the last time up from 125. I have a feeling we're going to see a dart at a double bull here, maybe even a double 7.
It's Jermaine.
Oh,
that's a horse of a different color, isn't it? Not an ideal pick for word choice. You can't do anything.
60.
Did you like the start on the bull on 122?
In this, no. In steel tip, I'm a fan. I start 121 on the bull. But no, the size of the trebles, the regularity that these guys hit them, that's That's a little bit. I think you're cutting your odds in this particular case. Big trouble there.
Well, this would be big.
Yeah, this would be nice for a 2-0 lead. Thank you, Ryan Davis.
There you go. I love how he called himself out. All right, treble 19. Oh, tops for a huge 157. Yes, sir, Benny Dersch. That's a throwback Benny Dersch shot right there.
What a shot. Great timing.
And a 2-0 lead, more importantly.
Yeah, 2-0 lead and a very, very tough. Not that you ever really like going down 2-0 in any format, but loser starts, it is particularly difficult. As Kevin throws his hands up, he starts with a ton 80.
But there it is. Scenario.
Didn't he been filling up the trebles as well? He made me truthful but inaccurate.
Well, he found it on the last dart. It's the best feeling 76.
It's best case scenario.
Yeah. You don't hit that treble 21st. And then go triple 5, and that's annoying, and then go to 1 to try to overcorrect. Great cover shot. I do like the transitions for a lot of these players, just how nonchalant they make it.
You can definitely tell the ones that have a plan when they walk up there. Unlucky for Jermaine, all 3 low. Benny telling him to shut his mouth and go throw.
Interesting switch there on the third dart.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought he was blocked or. I mean, it was a advantageous number switch. Billy only able to find 41. So again, large gaps being created here. Always late to the party. Probably feeling as though this just isn't going their way.
Yeah, they don't want to be too much more late, Gordon. They're gonna miss that party.
You gotta show up to the party soon.
Like probably within the next 5 minutes would be ideal.
Well, probably for the next 8 minutes would be ideal. Kevin Luke going to do his part.
He's had 2 180s in this leg. He's averaging a 60. He's averaging 180.
He is averaging 180. Oh. All right.
It opens up the door here for Sid to throw in a big score, and
well, I mean,
it's gonna be tough not to freeze, but
yeah, he really needed to fill it up. This is not gonna do it. Good last. He does stick in there.
oh, not gonna happen.
No.
Not gonna happen at all. And
yeah, fall off there. So 81 live.
Is it? Yeah, it was 3 something. It must be 12:22. It's 1:22 where I grew up. You do not have to go 12 for bullseye here, right?
Well, you don't know how many times you're going to get a whack at it. I actually like this.
Yeah.
Especially knowing, again, I think the first story I told about Jermaine was 6 bulls to win. Maybe it was the pro doubles. It was either the pro or the pro-am. This is why. Not a very big shot here from Philly. He's averaging 13.67, and they may never get another shot at that 47.
All right, so 56 points is all that's needed from Benny Dersch.
Always late to the party. He is happy that he can't take out 179.
And there's the freeze. Oh, the 1 is a little bit slack, but he's not going to expect to come back.
Yeah, job done. 45, yep.
Kevin shot perfect in that leg. Go for it, Ram. Oh. Oh, double 15. And double 15 wins the tournament, Gordon.
Of course it does. Nobody misses double 15.
Oh, man.
What an evening of darts.
What a great opening night here in Chicago. I mean, it couldn't have gone better as far as the great coverage that we've been able to show you. Minus the players could warm up a little quicker. But from our side of things.
Sounds?
Huh?
Missing board sounds?
Yeah, missing board sounds. There are probably some things I said stupidly. You were brilliant, though, on this opening night.
No, arithmetic errors just drive me nuts. But fresh sleep. We'll come back tomorrow, 4 o'clock Central.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe we'll have board sounds from the very beginning this next time.
I'm going to bet so. I think that he'll hit that button before we start this next one. Let's give the update there real quick. Who did win the it was the Poland team. Came back and double-dipped quickly. 4 straight over Flying Elbows crew to get the job done. And so there you go. There's your update. Guys, that'll do it for us this evening. We'll be back in action at 4 from all of us here at BullShooter. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.